When asked about not having any friends, a man who was cool said that friendship was like a gem. Elusive and precious, he said friendships are rare, valuable, and often surrounded by imitations. After a few errors in judgment, you begin to believe that all friendships are mere illusions, just fakes building on this sentiment. Another individual observed true friends are treasures to be held dear, yet it's them that we find a friend in life whom we can truly hold in such high regard. But what does it mean when you find yourself often alone navigating a world that seems to overflow with connections? Does a lack of friends indicate something deeper, something inherent in who you are today? We'll dive into this delicate topic, exploring the nuanced world of friendships, or the lack thereof. We'll look at the complexities of modern social dynamics and how they influence our relationships. Remember, not having a sea of friends doesn't reflect your worth. Sometimes it's about finding that one true gem. Stay with us as we dive into understanding why some struggle to find these connections, look into the reasons, and most importantly, reveal the practical steps that can be taken to make a difference. Lack of confidence or being shy, you can shape your social worlds by making lasting relationships, just like a sculptor carves away at stone to reveal a masterpiece. So stay focused, and let's start this journey together through the lens of Stoicism with open minds and hearts, ready to learn, grow, and connect with one another, shyness or introversion notwithstanding. Despite our innate social nature, many individuals perceive social interactions as a puzzle with missing pieces. People often see shyness or introversion as a problem on this trip, but what if we saw these traits not as problems, but as unique ways to see the world? This is what Stoic wisdom is all about, turning what we think are our weaknesses into strengths. The first step is to accept who you are. Remember Marcus Aurelius's words, "Through time, accept the things that fate binds you." Being shy isn't a flaw. Realizing that your journey is different, not less, is what gives you power. When you accept yourself, you break free from the chains of what-ifs and should-bes. This self-acceptance is your armor in the busy world of social interaction, making you unshakable in your quiet confidence. Now let's talk about the present. You're at a party and feeling that familiar pull of shyness. This is where Stoicism really shines. It tells you to pay attention to what you can control. What you can control are your deeds and words. 2. Trust issues. Your kindness shouldn't depend on what other people think or what happens in the end. When you speak, your intention should not be to impress others, but to demonstrate your understanding of this shift. Pay attention. Talks become less of a battlefield and more of a space to forge genuine connections when you move from the fear of judgment to the truth of what you say. Also, keep in mind that friendship isn't a prize to be won, but a garden to be cared for when looking for relationships. Let go of the need for quick results like Seneca did, who saw life as a journey. Think of each interaction as a step on your path, not a test of your worth. By focusing on being your true self, you make room for relationships that fit with that self. Remember that from a Stoic point of view, every person you meet is a chance to learn, grow, and reflect, not just another friend to add to your list. Being shy and quiet can be strengths. You need to know and use these traits to navigate the complex world of human relationships. Navigating the maze of friendships involves overcoming two significant trust issues. Maintaining a balance between your own ideals and the unpredictable plans of others can be a challenging task. Earning trust is a process that requires careful attention to detail. Start by getting to know yourself. Figure out what makes you tick and what scares you. Knowing who you are is like having a compass in the relationship desert. It's about knowing when to let someone in and when to keep the door shut. Like a tree that stands firm, because it knows its roots. You should know your roots and values. 3. Due to a lack of social opportunities, you find yourself caught up in the constantly shifting tides of human connections. Realize that people are like seasons. They can seem trustworthy one day and not the next. This doesn't mean you should wall off your heart, but to realize that change is constant. Keep your emotions in check. Breaking trust doesn't mean the end of the world. It's a chance to learn and get better. Being practical and realizing that perfection is a myth, especially when it comes to people, doesn't mean you become cold and distant. Being flexible and adaptable while staying true to who you are is like water. Honest, open communication is your best tool. If doubts come up, talk about them. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Things become clearer all of a sudden. Don't avoid these conversations. They're what can lead to deeper, more meaningful connections. Conversation can clear up a misunderstanding, but remember that it goes both ways. Listen as much as you speak. This balance of talking and listening creates a rhythm, a dance of words and understanding that strengthens the bonds of friendship. Trust is the foundation of making friends, not an afterthought. 3 social chances are not enough. Navigating through the complexity of contemporary life can be challenging. One may discover a subtle reality. A lack of friends doesn't necessarily stem from a lack of social interactions, but rather from a lack of interest in the world around us. Our phones. Our phones are full of notifications, but our hearts long for real relationships. Imagine this. Volunteering in your community isn't just a way to help others. It's also a way to meet souls. 4. There is a lack of social skills among those who share your passions. Whether you're planting trees or organizing books at the library, every shared task is a thread that weaves you into the social fabric. These actions reflect a virtue that helps the greater good, and you find others who are on the same path. But let's not forget the power of shared knowledge and passions. Imagine walking into a room where everyone talks the language of your job or hobby. Workshops and talks about things you're interested in aren't just ways to add to your resume. They're also excellent places to meet new people and make friends. It's like meeting your tribe when you're with people who understand the details of your work or passion. Conversations flow easily. Making friends and improving your job skills go hand in hand. Don't forget to use the outdoors as a social canvas. Hiking, biking, and group yoga aren't just beneficial for your health. They can also help you connect with others. Show off your wildflowers. These activities remove the formalities of typical social situations, allowing genuine connections to form. While you're out, appreciate the people and things that bring you joy. It's not about having a lot of friends. It's about cherishing the ones that make your life more interesting. This approach, which is based on simplicity and honesty, makes the search for friendships a fulfilling journey. 4. Not being good with people. Making friends doesn't just happen. It takes work and the right method. We often overlook the fact that having poor social skills can be detrimental. Changing circumstances can make it challenging to make real friends. Remember how Marcus Aurelius subtly told us to love the people fate brings into our lives? That's a reminder to take advantage of social chances, no matter how small they are. Start a conversation in a coffee shop, join a neighborhood club, or join online groups of people who share your interests. People build trust in each other through these small exchanges. Similar to how plants need water and sunlight to grow, social skills need care and time to develop. Listening with purpose and understanding is a key part of building social skills. Being the one who listens sets you apart in a world where everyone craves attention. Don't just ask questions to answer them. Ask them to understand them. Be genuinely interested in other people's stories. This change in focus from how others see you to how they really see you leads to deeper connections. Making people feel valued and heard is more important than impressing them with your wit or stories. Also, be able to handle the ups and downs of social situations with a calm attitude. It's okay if not every talk you start ends in a lifelong friendship. Every interaction, whether it turns into a friendship or not, is a step forward in your social journey. Changing goals or progress. Rejection is a normal part of human interaction, not a sign of how valuable you are. With each experience, you learn not only how to deal with others, but also how to handle the complicated web of human relationships with grace and strength. Remember that your worth isn't based on how many friends you have, but on the strength of the relationships you build. 5. Sometimes not having enough friends can make us feel down. Tell the story of the boy and the apple tree again. The story shows how our priorities change as we get older, and how we often drift away from links that were important to us as kids. Our friendships are like the tree's carefree days, but as we get older, like the boy, our focus shifts to what we see as essentials. In our pursuit of financial stability, we may overlook the bonds that once protected us, much like an apple tree. As we grow, our goals change, which is normal. But sometimes we forget about what we already have because we're too busy chasing what we think we need. The boy only went back to the tree when he needed something. He didn't realize that it was a constant friendly presence. Similarly, our pursuit of success and security may blind us to the constant friendly presence it provides. If we ignore the friends who are always there for us, we'll end up with a void that may be filled with achievements, but is lacking in real, heartfelt connections. You have to work at rebuilding or maintaining friendships. As with taking care of a garden, it's not about big gestures, but about doing small acts of kindness and being there for someone, both when they're joyful and when they're sad. Remember that friendships grow deep roots over time, not overnight. The tale of the boy and the tree illustrates that friendship requires mutual care and attention. Don't be the boy who only recognized the tree when he needed it. Instead, love and care for these relationships constantly with 6 or 7 priorities. Growing mentally and emotionally is important because our lives are always changing as we balance work, school, and personal growth. This shifting of goals can help or hurt friendships. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that is still relevant today, tells us to accept that life is always changing. Imagine that your life is like a river that is always flowing and changing course. Your time for social interactions naturally fluctuates as you navigate the challenges of career advancement or the tranquil waters of family life. This isn't a failure on your part, it's just the reality of a fully lived life. Stoicism gives useful advice for these times of change when your days are full of meetings, deadlines, or family duties. It's tempting to try to keep up with a lot of friends, but Stoicism says quality over quantity. It's better to have a few deep, meaningful connections than a lot of shallow ones. This method is about focusing on what matters, not blocking people. By doing this, you respect not only your own time, but also the time of others, establish genuine and fulfilling relationships. Being stoic means not accepting that your goals will change your friendships. Instead, you just need to understand and accept the natural flow of relationships. Could float away. Some people will stay or join you because of your new goals. Be brave and wise as you go on this trip. Remember that every person you meet, whether they stay for a season or a lifetime, adds something special to your life. Choose your lifestyle, interact with others, and let Stoicism help you make friends that are important and fit the person you are becoming. Mental health. Our mental health plays a crucial role in our relationships, something we often overlook due to our busy lives. Stoicism, the philosophy of ancient marble and modern grit, helps us understand this. It's not about keeping your cool, but about figuring out what's going on in our minds when we're feeling anxious or depressed. It's like trying to find your way through a social maze when it's dark. The Stoics teach us to illuminate the darkness, not to eradicate it, but to discern a path through it, echoing George Carlin's observation that underlying many people's cynicism is an optimist who is also sad. An optimist with a sad outlook can be found. This isn't about putting on rose-colored glasses. It's about realizing that our mental fights can make walls between us. We are constructing barriers between ourselves and potential companions. Now let's get down to business. Quotations from Marcus Aurelius while sipping a latte are not the essence of Stoicism. The first step is to practice mindfulness. No, it's not a fancy word for daydreaming. It means being present in a world where attention is valuable. Giving someone a rare gift by being fully present in a talk is like giving them money. It shows that you care, which is valuable in friendship. Meditation isn't just for monks. It's for everyone who's busy with life. 10 minutes a day of meditation is beneficial for more than just your brain. It shows others that you value them. Because of this, clarity and calm. It may seem like a luxury to aim for peace and quiet in this always-on world, but that's what makes friendships last. Finding peace in the midst of chaos is what tranquility is all about. Having an anchor ensures you stay afloat during life's inevitable storms. Friends aren't just for sunny days, they're shelters in storms. By striving for inner calm, you become someone others want to turn to. Stoicism teaches us that this inner tranquility is possible through self-reflection and consistency. It's about being aware of our feelings. 9. Figuring out interest differences and not letting them control us. It means taking charge of our emotions, not being indifferent. When you master this, you become a beacon of stability in a world that is often uncertain. People naturally gravitate towards calm and understanding individuals. By working on your inner peace, you create an environment where friendships can grow without even meaning to. When you work on your mental health, remember that you're not only taking care of your mind, you're also planting the seeds for deeper, more meaningful relationships. There are 8 opportunities to cultivate a way of life. Life moves quickly. Pace often leads to a path where ties fade. While you're rushing to meet deadlines and complete tasks, the chair opposite you at the dinner table remains empty at the end of the day. It's not just about being busy, it's about what you value. Being silent makes us think about the choices we make. Are you spending your time on things that really matter? It can be enjoyable to think about this. Share. It's about being brave enough to turn down time. Take this approach. Shape your day like a sculptor shaping a masterpiece. Avoid time wasters that don't meet your inner need for connection. Every decision you make slashes away time for relationships and responsibilities. Good planning is more important than lengthening your day. Even though you may not have much time to spend with friends and family, choosing people who share your values will make these times more enjoyable. Every conversation has more value. Remember the Stoic art of balance. It's not just about having a lot of friends, it's also about having deep connections with them. It's not enough to just divide your time evenly. You need to make sure it fits with what really makes life worth living. Think of your life as a mosaic, with each piece reflecting a different part of it. Hobbies, rest, and making friends all hold a unique place in your life. Your task is to arrange these tiles in a manner that creates a well-flowing pattern. Keeping everything in balance takes a lot of work and thought, but when you do it right, the picture of your life is not only beautiful, but also very fulfilling. 9 different kinds of hobbies. Many different hobbies can be like many different musical notes. each one unique but part of a bigger picture. When people have different hobbies, it's not just a vague concept, it's a real possibility. There is a symphony of connections that were never explored. Let's say you like rock music and your co-worker likes classical music. While a gap exists, a bridge stands ready to bridge it. Seeing these differences as opportunities rather than problems helps us be patient. It whispers, "Find the harmony in discord." If we only focus on our own interests, we run the risk of creating a bubble that limits our worldview and our group of friends. By welcoming the different passions around us, we not only discover new hobbies, but also new relationships and points of view. Variety is often referred to as the essence of life. Stoicism encourages us to be curious and reminds us that everyone we meet has a world of experiences, ideas, and interests to share. If your neighbor is passionate about gardening and you're an avid gamer, don't simply nod and move on. Instead, ask them about their favorite plant. It's not about pretending to love gardening, it's about appreciating their passion and letting them see and respect yours. Remember, this is yours. People with different hobbies can bond over their shared interest in things that interest them. There are common threads of excitement, dedication, and joy that run through all of our hobbies and interests. Stoicism keeps us on track to find common ground in shared values and human feelings, not just in shared interests. Imagine a world where friends don't just like the same things as each other, but also value and understand each other's differences. In this dance of friendship, a sports fanatic and a bookworm can find something they have in common. They both work hard and love learning. Stoicism teaches us to lead with an open heart and an open mind, making connections that aren't just about what we do, but also about who we are and what we can become together. We measure the richness of our friendships not by our similarities, but by our ability to embrace and grow from our differences. Stoicism isn't about hiding your emotions, it's about understanding them and guiding them. Be willing to find friendships that make you feel good. If you liked what we talked about, please give us a thumbs up so we can reach more people who are looking for ancient knowledge. If you're new, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to get more lessons on ancient wisdom. We can't wait to hear from you. Please share with us in the comments how you handle friendships, whether you're an introvert who likes quiet connections or an extrovert who thrives in the energy of diverse company. Your experiences are an important part of this community. If you're unsure about what to say, feel free to share whether you're an extrovert, an introvert, or an ambivert. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Until then, choose a movie from the screen to continue learning about Stoicism. Keep your cool and make those important links.